I've been around this profession for a long time. I've been around for 37 years now. Crazy. Started when I was a young man, and 37 years later, learned a lot of things. I think success does leave clues. I learned from my own experience. I learned from observation. I learned from other people's experiences. And what I try to do is take the lessons that I've learned over this period of time and transform or transfer that information to you in a way that will help you do more than what you're currently doing, help you get better results than what you're currently getting. So the topic that Jeff and I talked about coming into this is, how do you build a part-time empire for life? How do you build a part-time empire? And I'm going to give you two sides of it. One is what to do when you're part-time, and two is, how do you figure out a way to go full-time? How do you figure out a way to fire your boss or simplify your life and have a vehicle here that takes care of all of your needs and helps other people take care of their needs? That's kind of the dream, isn't it? So let me talk about how the part-time business works in our business. And it's a little bit tricky because here's the thing. We join the network marketing profession, the business side of it. We join to get time freedom. Want to be able to have more time for ourselves and for our families and for our own choices. And we join to get financial freedom. But at the beginning, from $0 to $100,000 a year, you don't get either one. You don't get time freedom or financial freedom. At the beginning, there's a price you pay in order to be able to enjoy time freedom and financial freedom. You get it later, but you don't get it up front. So here's the trade-off. When you're thinking about going into business for yourself, the trade-off is, in a job, you're going to trade your time or your effort or your results for money. And it's an exchange. You want to be treated fairly from day one. Yeah? Here, you're not going to be treated fairly from day one. You accept a different bargain. And the bargain is, you're going to be underpaid for a pretty significant period of time. You're going to what am I doing? What the heck? I'm putting in all these hours and all this time and all this effort and all this energy, and I don't have a lot to show for it. You're going to be underpaid for a pretty significant period of time. Then you're going to be fairly paid for a comically short period of time. And then you're going to be overpaid, sometimes for an extended period of time. Underpaid, fairly paid, overpaid. That's the trade. The trade is willing to do this in order to be able to get to this. Make sense? That's the trade-off. So understand, from $0 to $100,000 a year in earnings, you're going to be pushing the rock uphill. You're not going to have a lot of duplication to speak of. Most of it's going to be on you. You're going to be doing the sales and the recruiting. You're going to be doing the presentations and getting people started. You're going to be doing the training. You're going to be doing all this. You're going to be wondering, when am I going to get this time and financial freedom stuff? You're over here still. You're laying seeds. You're putting roots into the ground that's going to turn into the return on this side down the road. But you don't see those roots at the beginning. They're going down into the ground. They're not coming up yet. You sink those roots deep, and then you have something to build on. Okay? Now, Jeff, in his example, over his entire career, put those roots deep. The wind blows. It's annoying, but it doesn't really affect his life or his business that much. He feels for you that's trying to figure it out, making your $3,000 a month. And when the wind blows, it's annoying for you, and he feels for you, but for him, he's okay. Everything's going to be fine. Why? The roots are so much deeper. It takes time to throw those roots down. So what I want to talk about is if you're going to be building part-time, or if you have somebody on your team that's going to be building part-time, how do you approach it the most effective way? So Let me start by telling you a story or asking you a question. Is anybody a pilot? Put a 1 in the chat if you're a pilot. Anybody a airplane pilot? Anybody? No? Okay. Doesn't matter. You guys will understand. Let's say there's an airplane on the runway. Okay? Here, I got an airplane right here. Let's say there's an airplane on the runway. Got it? And you come in and you get in the pilot seat and you're a part-time pilot. Okay? You're not a full-time pilot. You're a part-time pilot. And you don't have to fly 10 hours. You're only flying 30 minutes. Okay? You get in the pilot seat and say, okay, it's time to go. But because you're a part-time pilot, you give it 10% throttle. Are you going to get movement? Yes. Oh, hey, we're moving. Hey, we just signed up a customer. Hey, guess what? I recruited somebody. Hey, this is very exciting. I just rank advanced. Ooh-hoo, I just went to my first event. Are you ever going to get off the ground? Will you ever get altitude? Will you ever leave the ground at 10% throttle? Never, ever. It's physics. You say, well, that's not reasonable. I'm a part-time pilot. You're asking unreasonable things of me. Physics doesn't care whether you're part-time or full-time. I only have to fly 15 minutes away. Don't care. Doesn't matter. You better get a long runway to get you 15 minutes away that you can just drive there. But if you got to get off the ground, some of you have been going at 10 miles an hour part-time and say, well, that's reasonable. I'm being reasonable. And you go to an event and you say, you know what? All right, I'm going to give it 20% because I'm excited. Now you're moving faster. Are you going to get off the ground? You going to get altitude? No. Sorry. I'm giving it 20%. Come on. I'm only a part-time pilot. All right, 50%. No. Even if you're a part-time pilot, you got to give it 100% to get off the ground, yes? Now, you don't have to go to 30,000 feet if you're only going 15 minutes away, but you got to give it a burst of energy at some point to get your business off the ground. Then you can level off. And then you go be your part-time pilot. You could put it on autopilot. You can set the course to be able to do it. So some of you have been trying to defy the laws of physics by going less than 100% for a short period of time. And it doesn't need to be that long. So if you're part-time, let me give you some advice. At some point in time, pick a time frame and do all you can do. Maybe it's for 7 days. For 7 days, you're going to do everything possible. You're going to swing your life completely out of balance. If you're working 8 hours for somebody else, you're going to work another 8 hours to grow your for-life business. Every day. They're like, I can't do this for forever, but you can do it for 7 days, can't you? Some of you, it's going to be 30 days because you're ambitious. You want to get this thing going. You want to get some money coming in. Fantastic. Go all in for 30 days. Oh, that's too much for me. Okay, 7 days. Oh, that's too much for me. All right, 72 hours. Some of you, that's too much for you. Can you give me 24? Can you give me everything you have for 24 hours? And what would that look like? How many people is it possible to talk to or send a message to or start a conversation with in 24 hours? How many could you start a conversation with? A lot. Via text message, how many people could you message or DM or on whatever platform and just say hello and start a conversation? Could you start 500 conversations in 24 hours if your life hung in the balance? If you had to do it to save your family? Easy peasy, no problem. What would 500 conversations started do to get you off the ground? It would get you a long way towards creating something of value. At some point, it is about numbers. You can't make up in skill what you lack in numbers. Oh, I'm really, really good. Fantastic. You only talk to one person. I remember Jim Rohn saying, if somebody out there can recruit 9 people out of every 10 that they talk to, and there's a contest, he said, I can beat them. Even if I only get 1 out of 10. Because they'll talk to 10 and get 9. I'll talk to 100 and get 10. I win. You don't have to be great, but you do have to be busy. You have to be efficient in the time that you have. Okay? So the first thing I want you to understand, part-time or full-time, takeoff looks the same. It looks the same whether you're part-time or full-time. You can decide when you want to level off. You can decide how much you're going to give a burst in order to be able to turn that into productivity. You can decide that. Okay? Second thing I want to tell you is how to be efficient with your time. This is one of the only side hustle business I know that has a high level of upside that you can build 15 minutes at a time. Real life, you can build it 15 minutes at a time. You can take 15 minutes. You're busy with kids and life and stuff and work and job and distractions and everything else. You take 15 minutes. You can reach out and start some conversations. 15 minutes, you can follow up with some people. 15 minutes, do a quick presentation. 15 minutes, jump on FaceTime and connect with somebody. 15 minutes, follow up. 15 minutes, promote an event, right? So you can either be casual about this or what 10 hours a week looks like? 40 different 15-minute blocks. Just 10 hours. Now, it's not scrolling mindlessly, doom scrolling on your social media feed that's figured out your algorithms and everything that you love and just dishes it up to you every minute of every day. I'm talking about efficient time to be able to get you off the ground. 40. If you work 20 hours a week part-time, that's 80 different 15-minute blocks. What if you were highly efficient with that time? Take somebody who's just casual with their time and somebody who's very focused with their time. 2 completely different results 7 days later. So, 1, you need to think about this in terms of velocity to get yourself off the ground. 2, you need to think about how you can be highly efficient with the time that you have. One group out in the world that is kind of I'm in awe of are the single parents. Single parents of little children trying to provide for their children and take care of all that stuff. They're superhuman, amazing, unbelievable people. I don't think I could do it. I mean, if I had to, I probably would, but I can't imagine figuring that out. Now, a single parent probably can't give you 2 hours in a row in their life trying to figure things out. But they can give you 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, and they can use that time to buy back some freedom, to get some support and get some help. So, 1, get off the ground with a burst of energy, anywhere from 24 hours to 30 days. You pick it. But at some point, give it every possible thing you can possibly do, every fiber of your being, for a burst of energy. 2, be efficient with your time. 3, I watched a masterclass with Steve Martin talking about being a comedian. Really fascinating. And he said, so you want to be a comedian? Let me tell you what you need to do. Everything in your life, if you want to be great, his advice, first of all, was be so good they can't ignore you. Be so amazing that you can't be ignored. Like, well, do I need to get an agent? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? How do I get my big break? Be so good that you're undeniable. Good advice. But then he said, if you want to be a comedian, let me tell you what I witnessed from all the successful comedians that I knew. All of their friends were comedians. They spent all of their time thinking about jokes, looking at life, writing things down, practicing on each other, watching other comedians, hanging out in the environment, doing all this stuff. And guess how many of them were part-time comedians? Virtually all. They were waiting tables. They were bartending. They were figuring out ways to pay the bills. But their passion was comedy. Now, if you want to become great, you want to build an empire part-time, even though you're part-time, that doesn't mean you can't give it all of your passion in the hours that you have. See, I would rather you be at work thinking about building your For Life business than while you're trying to build your For Life business worrying about work. Make sense? So you can give the time, no problem. But the passion, there's that old principle, you can't serve more than one master. I think it's true when it comes to your passion, not your time. You can serve more than one when it comes to your time, but which one gets your heart, has your focus, which one are you dreaming about? Which one is non-negotiable? You know, because it's funny, a funny thing. Whatever you are serving as a primary, your most passionate thing, you'll be sabotaging everything else without even knowing it. So if you're serving your job and just building your For Life business when you have time, guess what? You're never going to have time. If you're dreaming about it and thinking about it and writing about it and talking to each other about it and your friends are all about it and you're immersed yourself in it, you'll find the time. Big difference. So one, if you're part-time, you're going to take off, give it full throttle. It looks the same whether you're part-time or full-time. Number two, be highly efficient with your time. Really, because you know how many, they did a study on this, and I'm going to ask you, a person that works for an employer, the average person that has a job, okay, out of a 40-hour week, how many of those hours are highly efficient, where they're actually doing the work? It's a global study on this. What do you think it is? Out of 40 hours, how many hours are they actually high productivity working? What do you think? Out of 40 hours? 10. And I think people were playing with the numbers a little bit. 10 hours out of 40. That means 30 hours of sitting around talking to each other about talking about something and going to get a cup of coffee and coming back. I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And, talking to somebody about what happened yesterday. 10 globally out of 40. Highly productive. So you know what that means? In your 10, you can be as productive as a full-time employee working part-time, growing your For Life business. If you're highly focused and disciplined. Okay? So one, same velocity, get off the ground, part-time or full-time. Two, be highly efficient with your time. Three, it needs to consume you as far as your passion in order for you to stay productive. It needs to become your whole world, even if it's only part-time effort. It'll help you do that. 4, whether you're part-time or full-time, people ask me, what, do you have some advice? You have some advice? Here's my advice. Learn the skills. Just learn the skills. They're not that hard to learn. You just need to decide you're going to learn them. You need to learn how to find prospects, how to invite, how to present, how to follow up, how to get people to join your business or become a customer, how to get people started effectively and promote events. Fundamental, basic stuff. But you need to become good at it. Don't wait for the support system to do everything for you. What I would do if I was you is I would work on me as the highest asset, as the most important asset. You're the only variable, really. Company's the same, product's the same, comp plan's the same, which makes you incredibly valuable because if you get better, you have more leverage for the same things. If you're more efficient, more influential, if you cause more people to take the right action, you can't, on two sides, it's good news and bad news. The bad news is you can't out-earn yourself. Over any period of time, your income might pop a little bit above who you are, but it's going to come back down to who you are if you don't grow real quick. So that's the bad news. You can't outgrow yourself. Good news is there's no limit to how much you can grow. You can start from wherever you are right now and become world-class. Part-time. So, investing in you and learning the skills. Master these skills. I am so grateful because, look, these skills, there's not a huge barrier to entry. Learning how to find prospects? I mean, really? Would that be a college course? How long would the course be? How to find prospects. Come on. How to invite people to take a look, understand your products, understand the opportunity. I mean, how long would that college course be? Presenting using third-party tools or events so people understand what you have. How long would that course be? Follow up, keeping the conversation going, answering questions, overcoming objections. How long would that course be? How much would you pay for this college? It's not a big one. But network marketing is so forgiving. Sometimes we abuse it. We expect it to do more than we're willing to do. We're expecting it to make up for our lack of skill. You know, at some point, you got to become good. I let go of being lucky in my first couple of years. I realized a plan of just being lucky was a terrible plan. Terrible. I said, you know what? I'm going to let go of luck. I'm going to say goodbye to luck. If luck shows up, whatever. I don't care. I'm not excited. I'm not disappointed, whatever. I'm going to be so good, I don't need luck. I'm going to be so good, I can't be ignored. I'm going to be so good, people want to join me. I'm going to become world class. It might take me a little longer because I'm a slow learner, but I'm going to become world class. And if I do, this profession will wait for me. It won't kick me out the door. I mean, where are you going to find that? Think about it. If some of you were working instead of being a distributor for life, you are being paid by some company to do what it is that you're doing as a distributor. How long would the company pay you what it's paid you? Or would they fire you for lack of productivity? Some of you, they let you go just because you haven't shown up for work. Right? I mean, if this profession would kick me out for not producing, I'd have been fired like 40 times. But it didn't. It waited for me to become a better version of myself. And I had this incredible gift. You know what it was? The gift of desperation. One of the best things that ever happened to me was I was desperate. Some of you, guess what the enemy of greatness is? Comfort. Some of you are just comfortable. And because you're comfortable, hey, you know, when the going gets tough, you can just go do something else. You don't have to power through. I think there's a difference. To be an entrepreneur, do you need to be full-time? Is that required to be full-time? No. You can be an entrepreneur part-time and an employee full-time. No problem. That's where most entrepreneurs are. An employee full-time for somebody else and an entrepreneur part-time. Now, I've been doing this 37 years, and I was just coming back from China 10 days ago. Fascinating trip. And I'm coming back, and I realized something. And it's a new thing. You know, in the book GoPro, I talk about hey, if you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, this is a better way. And this is a training ground for entrepreneurs. And we're just a huge community of entrepreneurs, right? Guess what? I realized that's not true. Very few of you are acting like entrepreneurs. Most people I know are not acting like entrepreneurs. They're acting like self-employed people. Great. They're working for themselves. Fantastic. They're kind of an employee to their little solopreneur business. Yeah. But think about one word or one attribute. What's one thing that entrepreneurs are willing to accept that self-employed or employed people don't want to accept? What separates them? A real entrepreneur from somebody who's not an entrepreneur. What separates them? Can you think of the word? Or the concept? Put it in the chat if you can think of it. What do you think it is? Grit? Drive? Commitment? Focus? Flexibility? Passion? Uncertainty? Compassion? Why? Failure? Imagination? Perseverance? There it is. Go back up. Charlene Fitzgerald was the first one to get it. Risk. Risk. Entrepreneurs accept risk. They have a high risk tolerance. And they put risk in before they expect to get a return. Now I want to ask you a question. When was the last time you risked something? Now I'm not talking about your time. I'm not talking about your reputation. Right? I'm talking about your dollars. When was the last time you risked some dollars? You took it and you invested it. When was the last time? Today, as Stella did? Fantastic. Wonderful. For most of you, and I'm not saying, if you take some of your profits and you put it back into your business, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real risk in order to be able to grow your business to another level financially. Most people don't do it, and we encourage them not to. Oh, this is a cash flow business. This is wonderful. This is nice. This is everything. Here's what I know. There's levels to this business, even part-time. And if you want to, and you can be self-employed, you can be a solopreneur, you can trade time for money, you can have a nice cash flow business. You can have all that stuff. Or you can build an empire. And to build an empire takes risk. Have Jeff give you the truth about the risk that he put into developing markets. Time, airlines, hotels, meetings, away from family, dollars out of his pocket, pouring back into the market, when it wasn't paying out that much. He was investing more into a country than the country was paying back. Why did he make the investment? Because he could see a vision for the future. That if he laid the roots deep enough, then he was going to get a return. And there's a reason why Jeff is where he is and other people aren't. There was other people who joined the same day Jeff did. And they took a little cash flow business, and Jeff invested in order to be able to improve himself, to improve the markets, to grow his team, to get support necessary so he could focus on what he needed to do. All of these things. That's what it takes. So let me give you 3 areas where you can invest if you want to become a higher and more prolific version of yourself. Number 1 is in yourself. Invest in you. The most I've ever paid for a day's worth of coaching was $250,000 for one day. 6 hours. Why would I do that? Because I was convinced that a few good ideas from this person would make me more than that $250,000. No problem. Done. I've done that several times. 100,000 here, 50,000 there. How much for a couple hours of your time? How much for an hour? You know, I want to get this particular skill from you. You're a master at this skill. I don't want to take 10 years to learn it. I want you to give me everything you've learned, your whole playbook. Give it to me. I'll give you 100 grand. Done. Fantastic. When can we do it? Why? Because I could turn that 100,000 into more. We're so cheap on investing in ourselves. It's ridiculous. And we expect the company to make up for it, and our upline should provide it, and everybody should give it to us. And, you know, we have this small business with this small price of entry and this small commitment and the small everything, and we think small. Where could you go if you had higher skills faster? What's the most valuable thing that you have? What do you think it is? Time. The most valuable thing. If you can become 5 years smarter without being 5 years older, is that worth doing? Of course. But some of us are just stubborn. No. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to take those 5 years because I don't want to spend that $1,000. Okay? If you like, I'm continually confused by people who make that decision. I'm not going to invest $1,000 for me to be able to get 5 years smarter. I'm just going to do it myself. Okay. And you wonder why time's slipping away and you're not where you hoped you'd be. I mean, come on. This is a cheat code. Find out somebody who knows the information that you need in order to be able to grow faster. Get their information. Pay the dollars necessary in order to be able to move forward faster. It's super simple. And people just resist it like crazy. No, I'm going to wait till I'm making money, then I'm going to invest in my career. Are you bananas? You're missing the point. You're missing it. You're the asset, remember? Time's the most valuable thing. I don't know how I became 61 years old. I was 30 like 5 minutes ago. Bang, 61. Why do you think I have an airplane today? Because your trip that takes you 5 days to go to the other side of the world takes me 2. And I got 3 extra days in order to be able to do something. I can do an event in Miami, Florida, finish it by 7 p.m. and be in my bed in Las Vegas at 9 p.m. the same day. Can you? Nope. You're going to stay overnight. You're going to connect in Atlanta. You're going to be back here by tomorrow night, maybe. And you took an extra day to get there. Took you 3 days, took me 1. What am I going to do with those 2 days? Bring more value to the world. I only have so many days. I only have so many hours. Investing an hour or some time with you. You know why I'm doing that? There's 2 sides to a career. Side 1 is accumulation. Get all the stuff that you want and all the stuff you want to give. Take care of yourself. Phase 2 is contribution. Don't just stay in accumulating more and more and more. How many people can you help? And you can't help people, pardon my language, if you're stupid. You can't help very many people if you don't have the skills. You can't help very many people if you don't have the strategies. You can't help very many people if you're not tough. So, look, I say this all out of love. I know it doesn't seem like it. I'm coming in firing on both, all bullets. But look, the thing that is most painful for me is to watch a person who is an absolute giant play like a little mouse. It's the most painful thing in the world. To see something that is absolutely a legend. I can see the legend in them, and they decide to play small. Ugh. I'm like, why? You don't have to play so small. Why? Well, I'm comfortable, Okay, I get it. But you're going to take all of this knowledge and skill and wisdom and you're going to just go home with it and you're not going to give it to somebody else? Somebody who will thank you for the rest of their life for sharing the wisdom that you had with them? Oh, really? Yeah, I'm good. I've got my bills taken care of. Okay, I guess. There's only so many rounds of golf you can play. Only so many pina coladas can you sip on the beach. Beach gets boring after a while. I'm telling you. I mean, I almost can't handle the beach, to be honest with you. Because I watch people run away from life. I get enjoying a day, but forever? That's the dream? Man, so much more to this life than that. So, look, what I wanted to share with you is just some ideas, okay? And I want to see you do better. Congratulations on what you've done. The fact that you're here says something. How many people could have been on this Zoom and aren't? How many? How many tens of thousands could have been on this Zoom and are not? Where did they go? We don't know. It's a mystery. But you're here. So that tells me something about you. That tells me you want more. It tells me you're ready to do something. It tells me you're ready to grow. So my encouragement for you, whether you're part-time or full-time, is think bigger than you're currently thinking. Get the learning part over with as fast as you can. Immerse yourself in this. Think bigger. Move faster than you've been moving. Success does love speed. If you're going to get to that next rank, get it done. You know, if you're going to promote that next event, really promote it. Fill it up. If there's a promotion going on, get as many people from your team qualifying for that promotion. But more than anything, learn the skills. And I've talked about this, Jeff, with your group before, but I launched a program in December called GoPro Insider. It's a daily video training. Put a number 7 in the chat if any of you are already members of this GoPro Insider. Every single day, I provide a training, and the average length of the training is about 7 minutes. Okay? 7 minutes per day. But I train on mindset, skill set, strategy, leadership, personal growth, encouragement, belief, all of these things. That's what I train on every single day. And if you take a month at 7 minutes, that's about 210 minutes. That's about 3.5 hours per month. If you take it times a year, it's 42 hours of training per year in bite-sized chunks. I've learned that people just will not consume long form unless it's live. But on short form, it's 7 minutes a day, micro learning. Learn it, do it. Learn it, do it. Learn it, do it. Learn it, do it. I'll give you the best I have and what I've developed over the last 37 years, and I'll drip it on you every single day. You only need a few good ideas a year for this to be worth it, but you need to be willing to invest in you. I'd give it away for free if you valued it, but I just learned that people won't. You got to have a little skin in the game, okay? And I just use the funds to do more cool stuff. But if you go to GoProInsider.com, which all of you can go to, GoProInsider.com, you'll see that it's $19.99 per month, which is like 60 cents a day, something like that, 66 cents or something per day. Okay? So listen, mad love to all of you. I hope you go out and smash it, whether you're part-time or full-time. Get off the ground. Learn what you need to learn. Be disciplined with your time. Treat this seriously and just understand there's levels. There's levels to this business. There's levels to this life. You don't have to play small. That's a choice. Starting today, you can play big. You can get it done in a hurry. Okay? So mad love to you. I will pass it back to you, Jeff, and the rest of your team. It was great to see you all. I hope to see you in person sometime very, very soon. And I'll see you inside of GoPro Insider once you jump in there. Just so you know, I have it in 6 languages, and we're adding more. So there's multiple languages provided in there that you can get the training content. See ya.
Eric, thank you for being here. And I hope all of you got tremendous value from this. The main thing is to implement it, right? Most of us know more than what we're using now, right? It's really true. I'm going to put it back to gallery where I can see your faces anyway. But it's true. We know more than what we're using. But Eric hit on the basics, and he's right. The basics is what it is. I always say that the new school is the old school, or the old school is the new school, in that some people try to circumvent going from where we are to where we want to be, and we can't. We can't do attraction marketing. I call it repulsive marketing today anyway. And just hope that somebody is going to say, hey, I'm interested in knowing what you do. It's like me putting a sign on my lawn out there saying, do you want to make $1 million? Knock at my door if you do. People are just going to drive by, aren't they? The thing is, we got to take action, and we got to reach out to people. We got to get good at going back to the basics. And the basics is what all the great ones built their business on. Talking to people when you're out in public, talk to them. When you're in your social media, reach out to people, start conversations. It all goes, and the more of that you can do, the greater success you're going to have in your business. And eventually what you're going to do is you're going to find the one, that is a leader, a person that is full of passion, and they want this. They want a better life. You're going to find your driver. And that's the thing. And then you keep doing it, you'll find another driver. And Eric is right. It's all about the numbers. It really is true. But people aren't just numbers, are they? We just mean that you've got to talk to enough people if you want to find the right people. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't get into this thing for a side gig. I never use that expression, side gigs. Okay. I got in this thing to go big. That was it. I didn't get into a side gig. I went to go big because I wanted to change my life. So when I sell this, I'm not selling side gigs. When I talk to people, I just want to know, do you want to go big? Do you have enough? Are you at a place in your life where you're happy enough and you don't want more? Most people say, no, of course I want more. So that's what we want. I don't want to saddle them with a side gig. I want them to go big. And so this is the thing. I think this training was great, and the reminders were great. Again, and the great thing about reminders is a lot of us know these things, but we just don't implement it. We're just not doing it consistently enough. And that's the thing. We get good at being consistent and doing things consistently, talking to people, consistently reaching out to people, consistently following up with people. We're going to see great results in our business. And I think the greatest product, I'd say the one product that For Life doesn't have in their product line, and it's the most important product, is you. And if you're in a different company, it would be true for that too. Some of you are friends of mine in different companies. It's really true. You are the greatest product in your company, but you got to sell you. The question is, are people buying it? They buy your passion. They buy the energy. He said that earlier, success loves speed. It's really true. If people feel that you are the kind of person that knows where you're going, they're going to follow you out of curiosity to say, where the heck you're going? What is this person about? Why are they so happy? Why are they so passionate? Why are they so sure about what they do? So again, thank you for being on this call. And we look forward to having another one soon. And we will. So go big. Don't treat it like just like a side gig. Now, go big with it. And I wish all of you much success.